Alright, so Disney finally gave us a live-action version of Cinderella, but do you want to know what classic animated movie I've always wanted to see come to live action? The Sword and the Stone. An old creepy dude who lives alone out in the woods who's into magic? Yeah, that's a guy I'd hang out with. Alright, let's talk about Cinderella. Hey there guys, how are you? I don't just say that to be nice, I want to know. Leave how you are down below. Tell me your most intimate secrets. I want to know these things. It's what I do late at night. Let's just talk about Cinderella. Alright, so what is this movie all about? Well, it's a direct adaptation of the classic animated Disney movie. It's almost too direct at times, so if you've seen the classic animated Cinderella movie, well, you've essentially seen this live-action movie already. Now, in all fairness, they do explore a few things a little bit more in detail, a little bit further in the live-action version, but not that many liberties were taken with this live-action version of Cinderella. And I guess that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because going into a live-action movie based on a classic animated movie, you want to be surprised along the way. You want to see a few twists and turns that you're not used to. But on the flip side of that, you don't want to see them completely change everything and destroy what made the original so good. Unlike a few other new movies that came out lately in Hollywood where they took a classic animated movie and adapted it to live action. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Alice in Wonderland. That live action version of Alice in Wonderland just made me feel icky inside. It just felt like a gloomy day that never ended. And yeah, that's how you suck all the fun out of a classic animated movie. You make something like Alice in Wonderland, and you just do weird, bizarre shit for no apparent reason throughout the entire movie. Like this right here. But it was nice to see that this new adaptation of Cinderella didn't completely change up every detail and just make it feel like a completely different movie. So as far as the movie Cinderella goes, if you like the classic animated movie, I don't know how you couldn't like the live action movie, because it is essentially the exact same thing. Now really quick before we continue on talking about the movie of Cinderella, I first wanted to mention something to you guys, and most of you might already know this already if you've been on my channel for a while now, but I love classic animated Disney movies. These movies just make me feel warm and fuzzy inside and take me to that special happy place in my childhood. That place that we never want to forget, and we never will, as long as we own classic animated Disney movies. There's just something about that craftsmanship and that quality of classic animation. It just lights up the screen and you just instantly feel like a kid again. A tear's almost about to trickle out of my eye thinking about it. But anyway, let's go back here just for 1 second. I want to talk to you guys about something very magical and mystical. I'll see you back there. Let's go. Alright guys, so here's my movie shelf back here. I own all the classic animated Disney movies on Blu-ray and on DVD. And right here is Cinderella. Now, I really like this movie, I respect it, but it's been probably my least favorite animated Disney movie of all time, and here's why. This is just one of those movies that really doesn't resonate with my demographic. I'm a dude, and when I was younger, I liked watching action-y animated movies with dragons and swords and wizards and all kinds of crazy weird shit. So when you take a princess movie, where she puts on some glass slippers and finds Prince Charming, well, it just really didn't do much for me. And that's not to say I don't like princess movies. That feels weird coming out of my mouth right now, but yeah, I liked Snow White, for example, because it had other things for different demographics to enjoy, such as, you know, the Seven Dwarfs. You had a Grumpy, Sneezy, and those guys were really cool. What was the point of all that again? Oh yeah, the story of Cinderella. I think it's a good story, it's a solid story, it's a classic telling of a Disney princess who meets her Prince Charming, but for me, it just doesn't really resonate with me. Alright, so since we covered all that, let's talk about actress Lily James, who plays Cinderella in this film. And Lily James is an actress I'm not too familiar with. I think this is one of the first movies I've ever seen her star in, and I gotta give it to her. I really bought into her as Cinderella. When she was kind of being picked on or abused or locked up in the attic, I was like, yeah, they're treating this chick like shit. Now get those glass slippers on and go find Prince Charming. You're gonna make it one day. And the movie also stars Cate Blanchett, who plays the evil stepmother in this film. And I love evil, twisted characters who just want to destroy something beautiful. And Cate Blanchett, well, she did a phenomenal job at that in this movie. And out of everything in this movie, I would say her character was my favorite aspect, just because every time she was on screen, you hated her. But it was fun to hate her. And I really liked her take on the evil stepmother. I thought it felt new, refreshing, and, well, really worked for the live-action version of Cinderella. So here are my final Flickin' thoughts on the movie Cinderella. Overall, this is a competently well-made movie. It's directed by the same guy who directed the first Thor movie, and there's less Dutch angles in this movie, which is always a good thing, and it had that fantasy adventure vibe at times. But really, when you break it down to the core, it is an exact replica of the animated movie, which begs the question, Why did you even need a live action version of that? And I thought there were some things in this movie they could have changed up to make the story better, and it's almost like at times they had the opportunity to do that, but they just didn't do it because they were scared to change anything from the original animated movie. So I'm going to give the live action version of Cinderella a C+. It's a competent movie. That's a middle of the road score. I didn't hate the movie, but I just didn't love the movie, and it's one of those movies that I really never want to watch again. I didn't mind watching it the one time I did, but yeah, I'm gonna go with a C+ on this one. So anyway, guys, here's my question to you, and let me know down below, what is your favorite classic animated Disney movie of all time? Or, here's the really juicy question. If you could take any classic animated Disney movie and have it adapted into a live action movie, which movie would it be and why? If I had to pick one, well, I'd probably go with what I said in the beginning of this video. Sword in the Stone, or maybe Aladdin. Either one of those would be pretty badass. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my last movie review for the movie Chappie. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.